So I got a comment from someone under my YouTube channel, right? And they asked me, Flower Tower, if your son or daughter brought a white person home, would you accept them, right? And I asked this person, I said, wait a second, you telling me there's white people out here calling their biracial grandchildren the N-word, and you up under my channel asking me this? Like, please go find something better to do, right? So then this person replied, and this individual said, I'm biracial and my grandparents never called me the N-word. And I said, okay, nobody said your grandparents did. Okay. I said that that is happening, and that is because I promise you, I can go find 100 biracial people right now who will say, yes, this happened to them. Right. But regardless, that's not even the point. The point is this, right? There is an entire system of white supremacy that white people uphold and perpetuate, right? Literally. And instead of you addressing that, instead of you going to your other half and confronting them about that, you up under my YouTube channel asking me this dumbass shit. Like, are we serious? Let me go ahead and play the intro. Now, let me first say this. I don't know if this person is actually biracial or if they're a white person pretending to be biracial, because something I'm sure we've all noticed is that white people pretend to be black online. They absolutely do, right? But this is the thing. When they pretend to be black, it's never believable. Like ever. Like it'd be so obvious, right? So I wouldn't be shocked if some of them started pretending to be biracial, because it would be easier for a white person to impersonate a biracial, because realistically, the average biracial is very white coded. Now, that's not a 100% thing. I'm not saying every single one of them, but most of the time, when you come across a biracial who is half white and half black, they're pretty much socially a white person. Like, really, the only thing black about them is the fact that they are genetically half black, if that, because a lot of them are less than half black, right? But that's not even the point. We're not even going into all of that, right? The point is, a lot of them, well, these are the facts, and this is true across races, across cultures, right? Mothers are the primary child raisers. Okay, when a child is born, the mother is going to be the one teaching it most of everything. That being said, if the mother and the father are of different racial backgrounds, or even if they're of the same racial background and are of different ethnic backgrounds, the child is going to take after the mother more. Now, I know a lot of you are going to say, what, but the child be the seed of the dad. And that's cute. That's cool. Like, play your little reindeer games. Come on, baby. It's Christmas season. October 1st. Ooh, it's that time of year, y'all. But my point is this, right? You can go ahead and type that as much as you want to. Okay, the seed of the dad, the child, do. But the reality is this. In real life, okay, let's stand in reality for a moment, right? In real life, okay, children take after their mothers culturally, because again, mothers are the ones doing the primary child raising. That's just facts. For example, my best friend is Caribbean, but she's half of two different types of Caribbean. Okay, she's half Trinidadian and half Guyanese. Okay, now she was born in America. Okay, she was not born in Trinidad, she was not born in Guyana. Her mom is Guyanese, her dad is Trinidadian. Who do you think she takes after more? Like, come on, Guyanese, because her mama is Guyanese, right? Like, mothers instill the culture in the children. For example, me, I'm half Detroitian and half New Yorkian, right? Now, granted, I'm from Detroit, so of course I'm a Detroiter. But if I'd been born somewhere random, right? Well, I would take more after my mother, because she's the one who did the primary child raising. Like, for example, right? Now, mind you, my mom is from New York, but her parents were from South Carolina, right? One thing that we eat is something called chow chow, right? That's some old country ass shit from South Carolina, because again, that's something my mom ate. So she makes that, right? I can't tell you nothing about anything they eat anywhere where my daddy's side of the family is from, Georgia, Louisiana, nothing, because again, dads don't do the primary cultural instilling or anything like that, right? Now, again, let's get back to the topic of biracials. And in this case, we're specifically talking about a biracial who is half black and half white. Of course, different types of biracials exist, right? But that's not what this conversation is about, clearly, okay, right? But In the case of biracials, like I said, a lot of them are socially white for the most part, right? So a white person online who is attempting to impersonate somebody, right, and get some conversation in, the black sphere, okay, so to speak, right? They're gonna have an easier time impersonating a biracial than they are a black person, okay? So I said all that to say I don't know if this person is actually biracial or if this is a white person pretending to be biracial, but I don't think that matters because what I have to say is going to be the same regardless. Let me tell you what does not make sense to me. The math just don't quite ever math for me. And it's crazy because I'm good at math. It ain't like, oh, the math don't math because I don't know what I'm doing. No, baby, I can manipulate some numbers. Look, I like money, so I gotta like math. Okay, look, that's what I used to tell kids that all the time. You might not like math, but you better get a good enough grasp on it to be able to count your money correctly, to be able to calculate a sale, make sure you're not getting cheated, etc., etc., etc. Be able to say, oh, this is how much this costs. I can calculate the sales tax. Oh, they said this is this percent off. Let me make sure they actually took the correct amount of money off, whatever, right? But that's beside the point. That's beside the point. No, it's not. Because like I said, the math don't math. And I know how to make math, okay? My thing is this. A lot of you all come to my channel and you insist that I am racist and I am the reason that division persists in all of this. And okay, you know what? Whatever floats your boat, baby. Look, one thing about me, oh, baby, I'm going to rub these feet together and I'm going to be in the bed going, me, regardless. Okay, so whatever helps you sleep at night, because I'm sleeping good. Let me assure you of that, right? Go ahead and think that, okay? But my question is this. I don't understand delusional people. Because something about me, I just cannot live in delusion. I have to think about stuff. Because, like, I'm just not brain dead, I guess, right? Even if you really believe whatever point you're trying to make about me, right? You're telling me that that's the biggest fish we have to fry today in 2025. Now, mind you, I believe 2 black men were recently found hanging from trees in 2025, right? But you worried about some hypothetical situation, flower tower. What would you do if your non-existent child brought a white person home? Who gives a fuck? Like, quite frankly, who fucking cares? For me, one of the most annoying things about white supremacy is how it's always a bunch of gaslighting that comes with it. I would respect it so much more if folks would just say, yeah, I'm racist and I see the system of white supremacy and quite frankly, I just don't care, right? Like, I would respect that so much more than you sitting here in 2025, again, when black people are still being strung up from trees, and you commented under my YouTube channel talking about, well, hypothetically, golly gee willikers, like, if you had a child and perhaps if they brought a white person home, well, how would you? Who gives a fuck? Who cares? Like, because like in real fucking life, black people are literally dying at the hands of racists in real fucking life. So quite frankly, who fucking cares about this hypothetical scenario where I have a fucking kid and the kid brings whoever the fuck home? Who cares? I don't care about this. Like, y'all remember that story? Ooh, and y'all know this is my favorite story to tell. Cause like, boy, right? It was the black guy, right? He married a white woman and her family was so racist, they literally said, oh, he can't come in the house on Thanksgiving, right? Now, my thing is this. Look, one thing about me, like, look, I got some pride, okay? Like, certain stuff is just like, yeah, I'm not going for this. I'm just not going for this, right? If somebody had said that, I'd have been like, bitch, you ugly. Your house stank anyway. Why the fuck would I want to be there? Let's be so fucking for real, right? But would you believe that that black man sat on the porch while the white woman went into her parents' house and had Thanksgiving dinner? Like the least, that your wife could have did is been like, oh, no, like, y'all want some racist stuff, so we not coming over there for Thanksgiving. No, she went over there and went in the house and had him sit on the porch. Not even like a dog, because the dog was in the house having Thanksgiving dinner. So, like, he was like less than a dog, right? And my point is this. You hear stories like this of white people being racist like this, and you conveniently ignore that to be up under my YouTube channel talking about, well, if you had kids and if one of those kids did this, that, would you accept it? Well, we don't have to hypothesize with white people. We don't have to do that, right? You see how you have to come up with a fake ass scenario for me? We don't have to do that with white people because this is actually real fucking life where real racism exists. And guess what? White people are not the victim of it, okay? No matter what fucking scenario you try to paint to pretend that they are not. See, and I've made this point before, right? When I get on social media and I say something like, white people are racist, do you think that I need to make a fake page to prove my point? Do you think that I need to go and get on my fake page and say something racist under my video to prove the point, that white people are racist? Or do you think that white people are going to prove that point for me? Like, take a second to think about that. White people are going to prove that point for me. Like, matter of fact, I don't even have to say nothing to or about white people. I can be sitting here minding my business and they will come be racist all on their own, right? On the other hand, right, when you all try to make some point about how you're really the victims and how black people are the racist ones, you notice how you have to come up with hypothetical scenarios. Well, what if you had a kid and perhaps that kid brought a white person home and golly, they cook casserole for the holiday. Like, you have to come up with fake scenarios, make fake pages, get on your fake page to come comment, oh yeah, I'm black and I don't believe in racism, right? Because you're not rooted in reality. So again, why would I entertain this dumbass shit?